particularly operating system and database should communicate with each other. When they communicate with each other, like depending upon your operating system, depending upon what kind of file system is available on your machine from the OS perspective, ultimately some kind of system structure is added and we gave name to that as cluster. And even we saw whenever a cluster is added, ultimately what would be path of that cluster. So we said path of that would be found into data directory, and data directory is found into this path. So this would be your data directory. Okay, depending upon the version, like your version may vary. With the current version like 14, 15 is currently going on, but this is one of the stable best one till time, because 12, 13, 14 are under observation currently. So there are multiple issues can be seen rather with those respective databases, but at least till 11, no, I'm making a statement till 11, Postgres 11, we could see that this was the kind of data directory, and in respect of configuration files rather, this was your configuration path where exactly all configuration files should be stored /etc/PostgreSQL and again 11 and main. So this 11 and main would be added automatically when you install the Postgres source code. Now we have to go beyond. Like we said, if at all I do create a table, what exactly happens at that side? So we said there would be one number added, and as per the structure of the database system, rather, there would be a block associated which is of the size 8 KB. Okay, as per the size of a page. On what basis we should say that the page size also is 8 KB? Let me try to show you what exactly happens at that side. I'm again making use of say Postgres user because I want to go to this file and really wish to show you what exactly happens at that side /etc/PostgreSQL /11/main. Okay, so let me say Emacs postgresql.conf. Alt-X font lock mode. Yeah. So if I go below, one minute. I lost some connection. Please hold. Yeah. Okay. So when we do deal with a configuration file, so this is what your configuration file is. So I opened postgresql.conf, and if I go below, rather, let us search for page. So there are multiple such settings. Okay, let us search 8 KB one.
Sir, are you sharing your screen right now?
Yeah, I assume it is not visible. I can see on my Windows machine.
It is visible, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, maybe like you try to reconnect, because I can see like I even lost connection on my laptop, but desktop it is working. So I lost connection with Wi-Fi earlier. Yeah. Okay. Try to find out about that. So maybe somewhere in the setting part, you should get that size. Okay. So while we deal with this configuration file, at that time again we would be addressing so many issues at the later stage. Right now, like whatever is happening seems to be good. So we said whenever I create a table, then the system should create a number associated with it, which we said that it is an OID. Okay. Now let me add some more details there. Okay, let us go to PSQL. Fine. Now if I write /h and create table. Now let us try to see, do we see some options there? Like say for example, we already use this create, then we say table. Okay, then we give table name. Okay, then we write column name, we type data type and probably column constraints if at all there, or sometimes table constraints. Okay, and then yes, this is where our table definition ends. But there's an option called this. You can check. Right, with OIDs. So let us try to use this. So like earlier, like what are the data structure, data table that I had, or tables that I created were first and second. Correct. So let me create a table. Okay, let me say, for example, select star from first. Okay, we deleted that day this file. If you recall, we deleted that file. Okay, that's why we could not see that. So let me write drop table first. Okay, select star from second. Okay, there is no value, so let us insert into second. Value is 2030. So if I write select star from second, fine, it showed me this. Okay, the way that I used, like for example, the way that I fired a earlier command like this. Okay, Control R, select rel name. Select rel name. Select rel name, comma OID from PG class, from where we actually found what is the number associated with my table, correct, with the table that we created. Fine. So let us say order by OID. Now these are the numbers associated with every internal structure available, and as well as the tables that we created. So we created this second. So for this second, there is an associated entry called 16397. Correct? 16397. Now when we deal with this 16397, ultimately, if you see, this 16397 might be available there, but if I try to see like this table structure of PG class, do you see any column with OID as name? It is available as type, but column name. Can you see that OID there written? Everything
No, sir.
starts with REL, correct? So similarly, can I do this for my table too? Select rel name, select OID, comma star from second. Then suddenly it says, oh, something is not fine. Column OID does not exist. OK. Now think of this, like while I fired this query, on what basis it came to know that there are two records? Can you point out something? Like, can you help me out to really understand this? How exactly it must have seen or known, came to know that there are only two values associated with this column I. So you will say, OK, what it must have did, it must have tried to find that file. What are the number that we saw here? OK, what are the last number that we saw? It must have opened this binary file, which was the data file. And then it must have searched records into it. And then ultimately, it could have got idea there are two records. But how exactly it came to know that this 20 is first and 30 is second? Correct. See my order of insertion. I wrote 20, 30. So like, is it taking care of this? How exactly it came to know that I have to insert this at the first, I have to insert this 30 at the second? There should be something which is internal available. Let me write something here. Okay, which is not part of my table, rather CTID. Can you see some number associated? What exactly it is showing us now? 0102, correct? But I don't think we added this CTID column. Have we? Our table definition was create table second. Our create table definition was this only. It never had any other column than I. Then how come this particular query got executed and it is showing us this CTID column? Okay, let us see if I can see some more things. X max, X min, C max, C min. Oof. I can see now few other columns are also seen there. Think of, like, you are saying that you are creating a structure which holds information about all patients into hospital management system. Correct, but few things which would not be visible to the other individual is what? He only knows that what is my case number. Some internal details are to be kept with us. That should not be shown to the user. Why user should know this? Na? Like there are these columns associated, added. There are totally 6 columns. Right now I'm only showing you 5. There are 6 columns, but the 6th column would be ultimately added at later stage. When I added this select OID comma real name, in this case this OID was set to be a column. So similarly, if I write here other columns to X max, X min, CTID, for example, I'm adding this. So they are also associated there. That means what? Now see, whenever you are adding a table structure, at that time, now let me take your example. Now while you took admission on the day 1, okay, while you were in first year, while you took admission in first year, are you aware that time that you would be given a number which starts with N, and this N might be referring to something? If you see your seniors, the numbers given to your seniors, in that case, then there, like if I talk about say your seniors, in that case there is no option available for me rather to know that they do have something as R2, which was not available with me with my batch. Correct? With your batch, that thing is not available. Now how exactly this R and N is going to get distinguished? How do I know that there is something called R, there is something called N, and this might be having some relation in respect of whether am I really related with, or this particular column is related with hostel or something else? And that definitely is addressing that part at that point. Yes. The thing is, like the R and N is going to tell whether are you resident or are you non-resident. So N means hostel is not given. R means those peoples might be staying in the hostel. Now we saw that some people's got idea like, okay, they are given hostel, but later they left the hostel facility. Still their number was remaining as R. And in the system, there is another number generated with say N. Both the numbers were there, rather. Right? Both the numbers were there. And when I say this, ultimately, these are the hidden things which you may not be knowing. which you may not be knowing. But then in this case, how exactly this is to be done then? How exactly I am going to apply it? So similarly, like when you talk about some database system, ultimately, it would be telling me information about such all cases which are internally managed by the system. And these are the respective columns added. What are the columns that can be seen on your screen? Xmax, Xmin, CTID, and so on. Then why exactly it hasn't showed me this OID column? Okay, in my table, when I added that OID, like when I wrote, say for example, select OID comma stars, it said this column doesn't exist. So we are concluding with something now. Whenever a table is created, so let me show you, say for example, I'm using this DS plus to show more internals of the table. Now you will see one option there, has OIDs. Yes. And this has OIDs S is ultimate that a table was created, and when the table was created, at that time, the OID column was added automatically. Pratiksha, can you let me mute? Okay, yeah, sorry. So how exactly this can be done? So if I see the help of this create table, I can see that there's an option called with OIDs. So by default, whenever I don't write this, it is without OIDs. When my table definition got created, so if I write create table, say first I integer with OIDs. Now if I write this, then same message was there the way that I saw earlier. Okay. Now if I write DS, sorry, slide D first, slide D second. If I add DS plus, do I see anything there? No. But if I write DS plus, I can see that now it is having this has OIDs. Yes. What I did to get it, I got this. Now see the insertion pattern as well. Let us try to insert into table. So insert, okay, Control R, insert into second. So if I say let me insert into second and let me insert only one value. We saw that this is telling me how many records are inserted. The second column is telling me how many records are inserted. We never talk like in earlier class. I never said anything with respect to this column 0. Even if I insert, say, more records here, 50, 60, 70, 80. So I'm inserting 4 records at a time. I can see that this second is telling me how many numbers. The number is in the sense how many records are inserted. If I do the same thing now with my insert, so Control R, insert into. Now let me write first. So let me write values 10. What happened? Now that 0 was replaced by 16403. So let me replace this 10 by 20. Have I got another number there? Yes, please. One definitely can see. Correct. Now if I write now select OID comma star from second, it gives me error. But if I write it with first, I can see that there is OID column added. All other 5 columns, which columns were there? Select CTID, Xmax, Xmin, Cmax, Cmin. These 5 columns are automatically there with every table. This OID would be dependent on how exactly you are creating the table. If you are creating a table with OIDS, then you have to specifically write it. Otherwise, it would not be added automatically. You may have to rather add it there. You may have to add it there. Correct? So if you are adding them there, ultimately you are helping rather the system to communicate you the information somehow. Yeah. So what is use of OID? Now you must have seen Aman posted it. This OID aspect is meant for internal representation of identifying an object. In this case, the object is a row. So whenever I'm talking about database, OID is associated with my database. Whenever I'm talking about a table, OID is associated with, which is a number associated with the table. See, OID is kind of identifier. So this internally can be used as a primary key. You may see this number will never get repeated. So if I insert, then in this case, suppose if I insert more than one record at a time here, like let me say first. Now what should it do? So it should display me 405, 406, 407, 408 probably. Okay, provided those OIDs are not used by for something else. So let me add this. What is shown? Oh, some mistake is there seems. It is showing the same thing that I saw earlier. Right? Whatever I saw earlier, it can be seen like that only. This one and this one seems to be same. So even you are writing a table creation with OIDS, but whenever you are inserting more than a record, it will show you 0. It will show you 0. No matter whether your table is with OIDS or without OIDS. Correct. So the DS plus that we used, let us see what is S and what is plus. Let us see first /D. Yeah. So this is DS plus which we used. List tables, views, sequences. This S says show system objects and this plus says additional detail. So if I write /D first, if I write /D plus first, and if I write /DS plus. So like DS plus and /D plus seems to be same. And we definitely would be addressing that other aspect. What exactly is shown whenever we are talking about that S aspect here. S aspect. Okay. Here, system objects. Would be definitely talking about it. What exactly it is, but let us wait for a while. Okay. So whenever you are writing /D and a table name, if you write only DS plus, say for example, if I write here only DS plus, so it says capital is not added. Let me add a capital. You may see now this is added there. 40 KB, who is owner, which is the table. So if I go below, let me see. These are my first and second. Now we saw already what exactly this 8192 means for us. Correct? 8192 is meant for us. And even there are other tables too, like there are views, there are tables. You can see here. Correct, and each one is having some amount of bytes are devoted for it. Some of the size is in bytes, some of the size in kilobytes, and some of the size is probably megabyte, depending upon the insertion mechanism applied by us. So these are the details that might be added there because of that DS plus. Okay, but when you add specifically name, like when you added this, it talks about only that table by describing it. So first thing which we used without a name would be listing all objects. That's what it said. So if you see /DS plus, first one, list table views and sequences. And when you write DS plus name, actually it is kind of describe command for a table, a view, a sequence, or an index. Correct? So let us do this. Like now this OID is an object identifier about which we will be talking in detail again. Only I want to create an kind of model in front of you how exactly the system looks like. Okay, then we definitely would be addressing theory part of it at the later stage. Theory part of it at the later stage. Okay, now I am showing you everything on a practical method or using practical approach. Till this, any question, please? If you have any, you can please ask. Aman, I hope I cleared your issue. Aman, are you there? Okay. Okay. Is there any other question by anybody? Any other query rather? Let me know if it is. Otherwise, we will continue. Okay. Let me assume that nobody is asking the query. Now we saw that whenever we are. Can you please show in how to add OID? Okay. How to add OID? So if you write create table, give your table name. Simply write this with OIDs. Okay. So when you write with OIDs, so by default, whenever you are firing create table command, your traditional create table command, actually by default it says without OIDs, which was the default thing. Correct. But if you want specifically to mention that please create OIDs for me, so you have to mention this with OIDs, and it is available with your create table command. See this one. With OIDs or without OIDs. By the way, we are going to talk about other things also at later stage. Okay, fine. Okay, let us move further. I assume now, Mahesh, is it clear now how to add OIDs? Mahesh, is that fine? Okay, okay, good. So let us move further and let us go into other detail. Now you may see like it is really funny when you write these kind of table names first, second, X, Y to demonstrate it is good. But rather you will see that after I finish this course in month of January, probably you will see majority number of such tables are created on my disk. So what should I do? I directly delete that database, correct? But then I don't want that table to be stored on my disk. What should happen when my session starts? I created a table, but when I end my session, that table should automatically vanish. Vanish, I mean to demolish. I don't want that table to be stored on my disk. Okay, so let us see how exactly that can be done. So let us type, say for example, /h create table. So there's an option called temporary or temp. Okay, so even like you use either of them, this is optional. Until like by default, it doesn't create any temporary table. You have to write specifically this command. So let us create this. So how many tables are there on my system now? In my database, there are two, first and second. Let me create temp table third y integer. So if I write /d, now what is the difference? If I compare first, second with third, what is the difference? The schema name changed. Because if it is public, then ultimately it is going to save it permanently. It is recorded. Now this is a dummy table that I wanted to create. And whenever I want to create a dummy table, now when I say dummy may have different meanings. I should not say dummy, but I want a temporary table. So whenever I quit from the session, suppose if I quit from the session, how many tables were there when I started the session? Rather, when I ended the session, there were rather three relations created by Nitin, who was the owner of these three relations in the database Nitin. So when he writes again PSQL, and if he goes with /d again, how many tables are seen? Only two. So if I write again create table, create temporary table, let us see /d. I got it. So if I write again /q, PSQL /d. So this temporary table, whenever you wish to create such tables, which should get automatically deleted when you are done with the work. Correct. So if you don't want that to be permanently stored on your disk, always do this, create temporary table. Now you will ask, what is the difference between temporary table and the table that we create? So like for example, what is the difference between both of these types? So this first would be always saved. Let me create a temporary table again. If I write /d, I can see their records. So let me write insert into, say, third, values 10. Inserted. So if I write select star from, say, third. How many records are there right now? One, because you added them. So suppose I want to write select star from first comma third. This is a cross product, correct? Cross join, which was added there. Select star from first comma third. Same thing I can achieve similar kind of operation with different output with my regular table too. So number of rows would be like number of rows in first multiplied by number of rows in second. So there I had 6 rows. That's why 6 multiplied by 1. So that's why 6 rows were shown. I had only 10 value into third. So if I quit from here, if I go back, right /d. Gone. So this is the best mechanism rather for you to create temporary table while you are learning something, because otherwise you may see like what we do, like if you search on your disk, rather if you have laptop or desktop rather, you will see that there are multiple files that you have created with profile, which could be kind of resume for you for your internship or placement or whatever the activity that you may be carrying out. There are multiple copies of it. So whenever I create a copy, that copy should remain for a while and then that automatically should get deleted. How exactly this can be verified? Now you must have seen while you do talk about some mails in spam, they automatically get deleted. They automatically get deleted. Now when I say deleted, what exactly happens there? There is a process defined internally after how many days that spam mail should be deleted. Now in WhatsApp again, you must have seen there came a facility by WhatsApp called disappearing messages, which is permitted only to be used with the groups. Because in a group, suppose like for example, with the ADC group that we created, you must have seen that say Mayuri added 2 images, I added some images and so on. Suppose everyone starts adding those images, which I asked you to create instead of sharing on Moodle. What will happen? There would be huge number of data or images added there, because everyone would be added on daily basis. The images of activities which are carried out. Then we don't want that kind of rather addition by the user. We want it to be controlled. So this is kind of disappearing message kind of aspect that you can have. Correct? This temporary table. Is that fine? What is difference between a regular table and a temporary table? Yes, please.
Temporary table will be deleted when we quit the session. Sir, I have a doubt regarding this.
Yes.
If we use this method of creating a temporary table, uh, this is one method, and in another method we create the table, and every time before quitting the session we give the command drop table. So is there a
Yeah.
difference between those
The
both
thing is,
methods?
yeah, the thing is like what Tanmay बोल रहा था ना? Yeah. हाँ. So what Tanmay is trying to tell, why should I use this thing rather? Now what happens is, like, let us see. For example, let me create this temporary table again. Okay. So if I write select OID comma rel name from PG class order Y. I'm saying descending now to find out. Sorry. Okay, you see this 420. Correct? For temporary table also it is added. Okay, so let me go to another terminal which already I have. So let me write cd slash, yeah, we are there only. So one, let us say ls cd base ls dash ltr cd 16392 ls dash ltr. Now you see how the number is given to it. Now have you seen what happened here? Actually, the number should have been given like this only, na? So what we saw the number there, number was, see, 16420. For first it is 16400. For second it was 16397. See here. See these numbers. 16. There we had only 16420. Here we are having T3 added. This is because of a temporary table. So that means it automatically deletes this file too. Okay, but suppose create table third. Now I am creating with same name. Okay. Okay, column names. So say P integer C char 1 char 10. Okay, 1. If I write now slash D, where is my third? So if I write slash D third, what is shown? PG10 third, but here it never returned us any error. So if I write now this select star from this, can you see these numbers? There are two Tanmays. There are two Tanmay in class. Now then we really talk about, okay, whether he is Sahu or some like surname is different. So distinction or like how your differentiation mechanism may vary. So if I go here and now try to see this, ultimately, where is my temp? Where is 420? 423 can be seen, but 420 is not available. Correct. Now suppose if I say drop table. Now how do I display records of this, or how do I display this structure? So I have to write slash d public dot third. Then only I would be able to see this structure. Okay, let me ask you the question, like those some of you who did probably C++ or Java in your bachelor's. I hope most of you did, correct? Those who did BCA or even BBA, I don't know, or something like this, BBA CA. I hope you must have seen that you use this operator. What is this colon colon refers to in C++?
Scope resolution.
Very good. And in that, whenever you are trying to access data element, why you use dot? So if your table is student dot roll number, what that dot specifies? So the scope resolution operator, is it only limited to methods or it can be used with the data part too? Like we say data and methods, correct, in a class. Object or a class, whatever the terminology that you use there. This dot might be trying to tell a scope for which element are we talking about this. So I'm talking about third, which belongs to actually public. So if I write pg temp 3 dot third, I do get this. But if it is repeated, that name is repeated, and whenever you write /d, it shows only this. Okay, now seems really funny, probably. But what about my insertion? So let me insert into third values 10. Now let me go back and see here. Again, my 16420 is alive. Now it can see, you can see 8192 is the size given. Fine. So let me quit from here.
Sir, one thing.
Yeah.
In this other terminal, 16400 is also not visible. It was
No,
for the second.
it is no. It is there. Okay, let me show that thing to you because there are some manipulations happen. That's why it is not shown.
Oh, right, sir. It's there.
It should
It's
be
there.
here somewhere. Somewhere should be there. Somewhere it would be. It doesn't happen. So let me show you. Grape. What was the number? 164. Suppose star. You can see it is there. 600. Correct. Now you may say like why it is not showing that because we are starting with 164. That's why. And so it is showing this 400 is there. It is not deleted because but it was somewhere above. If I write here pipe less, then you should be able to see that somewhere. 16400. Now you should see somewhere. Yeah, see this one. Correct. So it's there. It's not the thing like it got vanished. Okay. Now if I write this rather every time, so my records somehow are changing because now my that other thing was not shown because I quitted from it here. Right? The number associated was 430 ना क्या था? शायद 430 something with respect to that temp thing, and that would be getting deleted. The file also got deleted, whichever started with ls, say for example t star. Nothing is available, correct? So if I say psql, let us go back. Third, let us see this. So we got one. Correct. So if I see /q, nothing is found. So this is the difference. So what exactly has it required you to drop?
No, sir.
So if you write without temp, then probably you have to always keep in like you have to remember, okay, I have to delete that table, I have to delete that table. You have to remind yourself. But accidentally, suppose like that happened with me. Okay, by the way, let me tell you frankly, I did my MSc, I did my BSc for SET preparation, SET exam preparation, which is eligibility test for teachers, SET and NET. DBMS was my optional course. I never liked that course. The reason behind is first, why teacher is asking me to calculate canonical cover. I never understood. Now, when teacher teaches me that your database should be normalized, what happens in reality? I never saw anybody worked on that normalization part. Okay, maybe some systems, somewhere you may see, but every time you may not. But I could not understand why you are exactly calculate canonical cover and why do you really worry about how exactly you specify primary key. It is a syntax, so you only teach syntax. So I was of that opinion. So that was an optional course for me. In 2005, rather when I joined in 2004, in 2005 there was a system with the department called Academic Information Management System, which was handling records of all the students with respect to their performance in the exams. Okay, and that time what happened was the disk got crashed. The laptop got fallen down rather due to some issue rather on the floor from the table. The hard disk got crashed and I was given responsibility. I was not knowing how to write Perl program. I was not knowing how to use Python. I was not having any kind of affair or love affair with Postgres. And this was a bigger problem for me. It took 7 months for me to understand what exactly happens when you write create and update. But I guarantee, like, what I guaranteed, like after 7 months, I could successfully reinstate the scenario which was there before 7 months. And then I really understood what exactly happens when you fire an update. So like, for example, what I did was I fired an update command. I was asked to like update. I was trying various commands of SQL. Okay, I was expected to update, say, an internship project title of a student so as that to get it reflected into his mark sheet. So I fired an update command and accidentally what happened was it updated all records starting from 1982 from the first batch of MCA. So that's how I started learning. Like you make mistakes, you do learn. Now, when I said when Tanmay was asking why we do use this temp, why not drop table? But then suppose you are working for say 5 to 6 hours and you kept creating those tables. Will you remember how many tables are to be deleted? So it is better rather. And now, by the way, I'm not forcing you to make use of this temp table option. But yes, this is a facility given by the system. Why not use it? Okay. So let us come back to our stuff. So when I fired this /d, we saw there is a schema called public. When we wrote create temp table, we saw there was a schema called pg_temp, something like this. Correct? Even if I write about this pg class, it tells me that the schema is different. PG catalog. Now, same thing if I try with my table, I can see that it shows me public. This public was meant for me. Okay, now what used to happen generally when students used to be staying in the hostel? Now, like always, I have seen that like when three people of same department are staying in one room, rather one of them always had a problem with his or her laptop. What they used to do is they used to share the laptop. While sharing, how will you make sure that this first table, suppose me and Tanmay are sharing this laptop, how will I make sure that this first was created by Nitin or first was created by Tanmay? So you may say we can have different owners there. You create different users, but yes, you may create it. But how exactly, like in same database, how exactly I'm going to differentiate them? So better thing is, let me create the schema. So let me try to draw probably the tables, like the architecture of the cluster. Okay, wait for a minute. Let the document start.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, please go on.
सर जब हम थर्ड नाम का टेबल क्रिएट करे थे तो वो पीजी टेम्प वाला ही क्यों दिखा रहा था, हमें पब्लिक वाला क्यों नहीं दिखा रहा था?
we created a table with option temp, if you recall
हाँ,
correctly.
और दूसरी बार भी बस टेम्प वाला ही बना बिना
Yeah,
टेम्प वाला
so
बनाया था ना।
that would be the thing only which it is going to make use of.
तो दो सेम टेबल बनाए थे थर्ड नाम के, तो बस टेम्प
So
वाला ही क्यों दिखा था हमें?
that is a schema. That's what I said. Like I'll be drawing. I will be creating a structure. I think there is a problem with this. Okay, I will address that your part too. Please wait, Devesh.
ओके सर।
Yeah. So let me share this. So this word is not responding. Okay, let me share from Windows. Okay, now let me create the structure. So we said there would be a cluster. This cluster will hold databases. Database 1, database 2, database 3, dot, database n. Fine. So like what we said, it would be having this structure. Yeah. C control B. Fine. So now what these databases would be containing. So these databases would be containing further things. So let me take example of one database. So this database will contain tables. This database will contain views. This database will contain sequences. This database will contain probably indexes. Please hold for a minute. 1 minute. बोला. Yeah, so it would be containing tables, views, sequences, indexes, as well as schemas. Actually, so now where should I put these schemas at? So let me show you. Like what about my indexes? Suppose if I create a file, sorry, if I create say index, then what will happen with my index? Okay, let me try to show you this. So let me go to this PSQL. Sorry, we will go to other terminal. Yeah, this is there. Let me create a table. Create table X, Y, integer, primary key. Okay, now what I did was I created a table called X, and to this X, I have added a column Y. Am I audible?
So
Yes,
now
sir.
you're audible,
Okay.
but for
Okay,
some
okay.
seconds you.
Yeah, sorry. So like these schemas would be there. Okay, so let me create a table which I have created now for a while. Okay, so can you see my Linux machine now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So like if I create a table X, so let me check /d. So let me write /dx. Can you see an index added there?
Yes,
Why it
sir.
was added? Why it was added?
Primary key.
Okay, good. Correct. So when it is a primary key, something is added automatically there. Okay, which was this, an index. So if I write now, select OID, comma, star from OID, comma, star from PG class. Okay, so let me say rel name. Order by OID. Let us say descending order. Now you will see one number is associated with that primary key too, that index too. So if I try to write /d x p key, it shows me this. This is a primary key added by you. B tree is used for table public.x. That means what? What are the picture that I was showing to you, rather? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there seems to be some issue. I don't know. Like it is showing. Okay, so but you must have seen now what are the structure that I was trying to draw in the Word document. Okay, I was trying to create a structure or a representation diagram rather, which can that was associated with my table. Correct. So like what happens if at all I have to model it in terms of a structure that we were talking about in the representation diagram. Let us see this probably. Let me wait for a while. So, okay, so team seems to be giving me some issue. Yeah. So can I move the schema somewhere here? Database will contain schemas. Schema 1, schema 2, say for example, schema 1, schema 2, schema 3, and each one of them will have these table views indexes. Correct? If I put all of them together rather for this. Okay, so this is schema 1, this is schema 2, this is schema 3, and I may have say schema n somewhere here. Correct, and these schemas will contain now these all elements. Each schema would be having its own tables, views, sequences, indexes. So in this case, schema 1 was probably this PG catalog. Schema 2 probably was kind of say public. Schema 3 was say the PG temp. So every temporary table that you create, okay, would be added into that schema. So what are the schema that we saw on that side? Okay, so please understand this. Whenever you create a table, your table by default will go into public until and unless specified. So what are the different schemas? So let us see this, if we can see. There is nothing called PG schema. If you see, can we see anything? Like, okay, it is not showing me anything. Everything which starts with S is only this. I cannot see something related to my schema. How do I know what are the different schemas added then? Correct. So create table. Now if I write tab, I can see it could be PG catalog, it could be PG temp, it could be temp1. Wherever you see dot, these all are different schema names. Now you may say, why temp3? Why not temp1? Okay, it depends on like how the installation was or what is the mechanism that is to be applied by us. Now I'm not going to find out answer for, or I'm not going to answer this question with respect to whether it is temp3 or temp1. That part you are going to do probably if you opt this in your final semester course in SD3, because there we are going to really do the operations on this. Like, okay, let me try to cut somewhere here and let me see why it is not showing temp1 and showing temp3. There is something also called as information schema. Okay, so let me show you where exactly this information schema occurs. So if I write information schema, you press tab. These all things are related to your information schema. Let me write columns. So columns. So it contains information about columns. If I write select star from information schema dot columns. So it shows me so many things. Okay, let me go with column definition. So we will use column name and table name. Select column name, comma, table name. So let me say order by table name descending. So you can see we added a column Y into table X. So these all are tables. Now see that X first, X and so on were our tables. Okay, let us see whether can we get second. Yeah, we got second. We used this I1 first. Let us find out first. So ultimately, like you will remember now, I showed you few things. Like when we install Postgres, we do see there are 3 databases added: Postgres, template 0 and template 1. One of them is adding this information there. All catalog information is added there. So one information was from this information schema, another one was from this. This PG catalog, and it contains these many options from PG catalog. Similarly, PG information, now see, like it is very easy rather for an individual to write create table, but what amount of effort is to be done from the database side. Okay, so this is how rather your system works. Okay, any query, question till this time? Yes, please. Are you there? Okay, so let us stop here for today's session. Okay, we'll join back again in our next session where we would be dealing with other major elements. Fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. So you can post your say attendance. You can mark your attendance on Moodle course site. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.